Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about useRef hook. It is a React hook. While we are starting from the use keyword, it is nothing but an hook. Okay. In React library, we are using useRef method. The syntax is useRef initial. This is the initial value you are providing here. Okay. What does it do? Useref method returns a stable object that is nothing but this current. This is the property current. Okay, in this object, this is the key, current key. This current object, it's persist across renders. Okay, another thing, updating dot current does not trigger a re-render. Updating dot current method, if you are trying to update the dot current method, it does not trigger a re-render. During the updation of current value, it does not trigger a re-render. Okay, this is the basic things. Let's move on to further. So where and all we are using useRef. First we are using access DOM nodes. So in the DOM, right, DOM, you know, I hope everyone is know about the DOM. In the browser, DOM is nothing but a document object model. If you want to access the DOM directly, we can use useRef. Second thing is store mutable values. Okay, so mutable means changeable. If any values changed, we can able to store using the useRef. And last one is keep values between renders. Okay. Okay, let's talk about remaining things. Let me go on some examples. Okay, here I am showing some quick tips. Use ref is a keyword for imperative DOM access. Okay, if you can use ref for imperative DOM access, or you can use mutable data. You don't want to trigger renders. Okay, mutable data is nothing but changeable data. You don't want to trigger renders. Don't use refs to replace the state for UI values. You need to re-render. Refs won't update the UI. Got it right? You need to re-render the refs, won't update the UI. Okay, this is fine. Let's move on to the practical example. Okay, so this is my app. Before that, I'm trying to create one new component. Okay, REFCE exercise is coming. Okay, now we need to include that exercise here. Exercise. Okay, so automatically imported. Let us see localhost 3000. Again, state is defined. What is this? No used. Let us rerun the program once. I will control C. Leo. ls npm start. No. That component is reflecting here. So let us see why we are using the useRef. Useref from React. So here useref, first useref we are created, correct? If we are going to use useref, we try to use the useref inside the useEffect method, because that is the safest way to do that. Okay, so wherever you are using useref, you need to call inside the useEffect method only. Okay, once the mount is happening, then we have to use the useref. Okay, now we are using we are planning to use these two methods from React library. So first we need to create one const useref. We need to create, right? For that, const input ref equal to useRef method. Initial thing I am declaring as null. Okay, so what we are trying to say, we as we discussed three things, right? Access DOM nodes. So now we are looking into the access DOM nodes. Okay, I'm using this access DOM nodes. Okay, so constant input ref I am declared. Next thing, we we need to do the use effect. We need to call the use effect. This is the syntax of use effect. We need to use arrow function. After that, we have some dependency array. Okay, inside the use effect, we are trying to call this input ref. So just copy this input ref dot, we have current object. Well, as I said earlier, right, inside useRef method we have the mutated object, right, stable object. So inside that we have current method. This method we need to use focus. Current method is, we need to focus that. Okay, if it is exist, then this focus method will call. So for that we need to create an input, correct? So here I'm creating one input. I'm passing the ref attribute. Here we need to pass this input ref. So this is a thing, it's mapping, accessing the DOM nodes. Okay, we can keep some placeholder for our reference. I'm giving autofocus. Okay, now let's go. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, on page rendering it will show like this. Okay, now what I'm trying to do, I'm just reload the page. See the input element, right, this input field, it will automatically getting the focus. So that is what we are directly accessing the this input field via DOM node. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, I'm just refreshing the page. Why? Just listen, when I'm refreshing, this cursor will come here. Okay, I'm refreshing this page, it's by default. Once a component mount, it's automatically, once component mounts, it automatically checking for the current and focusing the input filter, input reference. Okay, this is the access DOM nodes. Okay, let me move on to next thing. We will comment this portion first. Okay, let us create const exercise. Okay, inside that we need return method. I'll give like this. Okay, let's move on to second thing. Store mutable data. Store mutable data. Let us see this thing. So here we need to store some state as data, means we need use state, correct? Use state. If you are not aware use state concept, you can check with our older videos. So use state, right? So to store the data. Okay, so first we are going to do some stopwatch something. For that I am creating one const elapsed, some data, set data like that, elapsed. This is the readable and this is the writable, set elapsed. We are using use state. Initial thing is I'm keeping as 0. Okay, next thing, constant some id. This is nothing but our ref. We are using useRef. As initial value as I'm keeping as null. So the initial current value is null. Okay, okay, next we are going to use useEffect method. UseEffect, as we know, arrow function is like this and we have some dependency array. Okay, so in the useEffect method there are two methods we can use, correct? One is default one and another one is optional return method. Okay, here what I'm trying to do is, right, I'm creating one interval. Okay, for that timer id, we created one reference, correct? Timer id, using that timer id dot current, we are getting the user of current. Here we are going to set interval method. Okay, this method returns an object. Inside that object we are going to this elapsed we instead, right, we are going to increase the elapsed, set elapsed. This is the method. We are getting the value, some data, right, either some a or some data. We are getting the data, increasing the data plus 1. Okay, so this set interval we have to give some intervals, right. I'm giving one seconds, 1000 seconds. Okay, so after that we need to clear the interval. For that we need to use optional return method, right. Optional return method. So how do we return this? We need to use return keyword. After that one function, arrow function, which returns here whatever interval we set it, we need to clear that interval. So clear interval. So this is the thing we need to clear, right. TimeArray.current method. So I'm calling this timeArray.current method. So this is the use effect. Here we are calling the we are setting the interval, and by an optional we are keeping the clear interval. So every render it will clear the it will execute the return method first, and after that it will perform this updated state. It will print the updated state. Okay, now we can check the response here. So let us keep some seconds. What is the seconds it will call? So we need to call this elapsed here. Okay, this is how now we are complete the thing. Store mutable data. Mutable means changeable data. So every time the value is getting changed, that changed value is displaying over here. Okay, now we can go to the browser. See, automatically it's coming. I am refreshing the page. See, every seconds it will change the interval, elapsed time value. Okay, so mutable data. This is how we need to store the mutable data. This is readable and this is writable. In writable, every seconds we are updating the value, count increased by 1. Okay, that value stored in elapsed, that is we are showing here. Every time it will clear the interval and show the current value. Okay, let's move on to the final one. Here I need to say some tips. Timer id.current holds the internal id without causing re-renders when changed. Okay, it holds the interval id without causing re-renders when changed. Useful for timeouts, animation frames, ids, and external library handles. These are the useful. These are the features, right, for timeouts, animations, external library handlers. For this thing you have to use this thing. Okay, let us move on to the third thing. I will comment this. Okay, let's create the third one, constant exercise method, braces, implicit return keyword. Yes. Okay, let's discuss about the third point. What is our third point? Keep previous or prop or values. Okay, this is the third one. So what we are trying to do now, we know import useRef is there, useEffect, useState is there. Okay, now we are passing some props here inside the function. So how do we pass the props? So you can pass like this value. Okay, next using some ref, right. So previous value equal to, we are getting that useRef method of that value. Sorry, you can keep this empty useRef for right now. Let's create useEffect. you know this is the syntax, arrow syntax, as we discussed earlier. This is the useRef array dependency array. Now inside the object we are going to call the previous dot current. So this is a useRef, so we are having the current method is there. So for this method we are assigning that value directly. Okay, simple. So if you want to get this value, let me add one div. Here you are getting the value. Okay, so what is this? Here we are displaying this value, but this value is nothing there, right? It's not coming here. Why? We need to pass as a props for this thing, right? In the app.js we need to pass attribute here, value equal to, we need to pass some value. So I'm passing as 500. Okay, this value is passing here. Okay, and passing here previous dot current value. We can check some condition. See, 500 is there. So whatever value we are passing, this is the prop. Okay, the previous prop. So we can handle with some condition. Let us add like this current. We can use like this current value minus previous. See, if previous dot current, this thing we can take previous dot current is equal to undefined. Nothing is undefined, then it has to show like this, else it has to show the exact previous current value. Okay, so now current is 500 minus previous is 500. What we given here, current value minus previous. Okay, previous dot current equal to undefined means it will show hyphen. If it is having some value means that value will present here. Okay, so now if I am going here, I am removing this prop. Okay, what we will get, see, I am getting this hyphen. What we get, previous dot current is nothing here, so nothing is showing here. Okay, so let us add app.js here and passing this value as some value and defined. Okay, see, this value is coming as undefined. Previous dot current equal to undefined means it has to show like this, right? But it's showing the undefined. This value is coming as undefined, current value is coming as undefined, and previous value is nothing. So this is where we need to handle this props. So I'm giving some value here, 300. Let us see, previous is, there is no values previous, so why? Okay, okay, this is how we need to add previous prop or values. Okay, so here we are and we are checked the props, how do we pass the props, and here value. Okay, hope you understand. So again I will show you one more thing here. So this is we whatever, just quick review, we have learned about access DOM nodes, store mutable values, and keep values between renders. Okay, okay, hope you are enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. We will continue on the next video.